Remember back in the day when you used to throw on a blanket, use as a cape, jump off the couch to see if you could fly? We all wanted to be superheroes. But in Shazam, this guy actually got his wish. Welcome to Comic Relief, where we're serious. Welcome to Comic Relief, where it's not a joke, we're just serious about comic books. Here on Nerdy Blurb TV, this is a show where we review and recommend comic books and graphic novels for your convenience and our pleasure. Today is Shazam by Geoff Johns. This is the DC run that is the best, in my opinion, because it's just so much fun. Why, do you ask? Think of it this way. All of a sudden, a kid gets superpowers. How do you think he's gonna use those? Do you think he's gonna use them for good or for his own gain? Or do you think he's just gonna do a bunch of things that kids have always wanted to do if they had superpowers? All of the above with that. Shazam is one of my favorite comic books that I have read, but let's just stop talking about it and actually get into what this story is all about. Synopsis. His name means power. Yeah. For centuries, science has ruled the world while old magics have withered and died. Sorry, Harry Potter. Now magic is returning, finding a home in an unlikely hero. Who could that be? Billy Batson, the 15-year-old scourge of the foster care system. Snap! Too obnoxious and arrogant for any home to hold for too long, Billy Batson definitely is trouble. Yet he has been selected to wield the ancient power. But there is another recently awakened. Ooh. Who seeks this same power? Black Adam. Ancient, brutal, and evil. Typical. He will tear civilization apart after he destroys Billy Batson. But he's just a kid! If the world is to survive the plague of horror on the horizon, Billy Batson must embrace his greatest wish and learn his greatest lesson. Sounds like an after-school special to me. What the kid with the chip on his shoulder must become magic's purest champion. Billy Batson must become Shazam! So cool. What if you were 15 and all of a sudden got all the magical powers as Harry Potter has? No, but really, like if you had the same amount of powers as Superman at the age of 15 to be transformed into an adult body, you could get away with a lot of stuff. But maybe that's why the magic didn't choose you. It chose Billy Batson because he really is a good kid at heart. And I love the story that's being told here and the lessons that are learned. I love the lessons that this story tells. Yes, Billy Batson does have to learn a few, but it reminds me of how I learned to become a good human being and what family meant to me while I was growing up. This is such a family-oriented book. I recommend it for all ages because it's just so great. This book on its own is great. You don't need to know anything about the character because this is his origin story. This is volume 1 in the DC's New 52 run of Shazam. Now the New 52 is something that we've talked about before. It is DC's reboot system for all of the old titles out there. Never heard of Shazam? That's fine because this story starts from square one. Even though he's such an old character, he may not be as known as Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman, but this story immortalizes him, in my opinion. It's so great, it's so lighthearted, and it's so much fun for all ages. This book needs to be read by anyone who wants to get into comic books. This is probably the best book to jump into when it comes to a superhero character because of how much fun it is and because of the lesson that is being told here. And the artwork is great too, which only adds so much more to the story. In my opinion, a comic book should have really great artwork because it's what I'm going to be looking at for the next however long it takes me to read the book. But a story is just as important. And so when you run into one that has two of those, it's an absolute must-read. Shazam by Geoff Johns reinvigorated a character who nobody really knew about very much, and actually made it into somebody that everyone should learn about. With a kid who doesn't have a family and learns what the value of family really is, I think is something that we should all be able to take time to remind ourselves, or if not, learn for the first time. And this comic book is a great way to be able to do so. Shazam by Jeff Johns gets a 5-star rating for me, which never happens. Mainly because I'm such a harsh critic, but this book was honestly so much fun. I read it in one single day, so much fun. I would probably say that it's one of my all-time favorite superhero titles. It's such an amazing book. And I just gotta say thank you so much to one of our viewers who actually sent us this book. Comic Man Jake mailed it into us because he wanted us to review it and tell you about it. Thank you so much. I got it in the mail. I read it the next day and finished it by lunchtime. Such a great book. I'm gonna read it again many, many other times. I can't recommend this book enough because of how much fun I had with it, but not to mention the lessons that are learned and the intensity of it all. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you have read this book, comment down below what you thought of it. If there are any other comic books that you would like us to review, you are more than welcome to send them our way. But if not, you can just comment down below and tell us what you would like to see. I just want to say thank you so much to those who make it possible for us to be able to do this show. That is our sponsor, Dragon's Keep in Utah County. Dragon's Keep is the best place for you to get your comic books and yet have a great experience while doing it. Their friendly staff will help you no matter what and find the best comic book for you, even if you're not that into comic books yet. They will help you in finding what you need. And out of their large selection in their store, if they do not have what you are looking for, they can order it specially for you. Dragon's Keep is the place that I go to every time to get my comic books, unless somebody like Comic Man Jake sends us an awesome book like Shazam. Those of you who are not familiar with Comic Man Jake, go check out his channel. He reviews all of his comic books that he reads. He does a weekly poll list. Not to mention he does awesome comic book to movie equations to see how much a movie uses from that comic book. Go check out Comic Man Jake on YouTube, subscribe to his channel, and comment down below on one of his videos who sent you there. Because we love our viewers just as much as we love creating this nerdy content for them to watch. So if you are into the nerdy life and love video games, board games, comic books, movies, and much, much more, and you're not subscribed here, consider subscribing because we love being able to share the passions that we have within the nerdy lifestyle. But to end things on a serious note, this is the end of the video, but there's so much more. Go check it out. But until next time, keep on reading.